Hey guys, welcome back. I'm FilthyRobot, and this is session 2 of our D&D campaign. Joining me is Solitaire on the far left, Galg, Xilo, and William left to right, with their character names, or in Solitaire's case, Dungeon Master, above their headshots there, so you guys know what's going on. Also, we just are trying something new today with the setup, so you'll see some color coding to the left of the person. Is a color bar. That's the color that corresponds to their token on the screen. So if you're kind of having a little bit of a hard time following who's doing what, that should be visible for you guys now as well. So just going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to dive into it. Nothing much, just the end of, to get a sense of what happened in the last sessions. So we do these in 4-hour blocks. So you'll get, this is being session 2, so this is the second one of those. So the first session, we started our adventure. We're escorting some goods long distance. Ran into, along the way, a kidnapped human child who we returned to the town, then basically went back to that town, started resting for the night, and ran into some problems with some local charlatans stealing our money for volcanoes. At that point, we have pretty much called it. There's not a lot else going on from there, and we're going to pick up basically from there. How's that? Okay?
That was great. That was phenomenal. I'm really impressed. All right. Cool. So, you guys wake up at the usual time at the. Well, if you guys are wanted to wake up particularly early, you can do that. If there's anything you guys are wanted to do. If not, usually people wake up around 8 o'clock or so.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm sorry, Solly. Try to say that a couple times quick. I had just one more point of order stuff, which is I haven't got everyone's bio yet, so I did promise that I would have everyone's bio up on the Reddit by this episode, and I wanted to do that, but I am missing one player's bio. I won't shame that player, but I will poke them and suggest that they please finish that up and get that to me so we can have all of that up on the Reddit for you guys to read character bios for next time. But anyways, sorry about that, Solly. Go ahead.
No naming and shaming here.
That's right.
I know who it is. All right. Cool. So, are you guys wanting to wake up particularly early, or like you can wake up individually? So, if you're wanting to do something around town, or just like the normal time.
No. Depends. We haven't talked about this yet. Do I need? I would like to summon my familiar. I don't care if I need to do that late last night or early this morning, but I would like to, if possible, do that. If that's something that we can do this morning.
Okay, if that's something you would want to do, you would need the material components for it, which include the 10 GP of herbs and incense, I think it was, and
yes.
A brass brazier as well is something you would need.
Okay, well, I have the cash for that. I was hoping you would be able to tell me if there's somewhere around town I could find the rest of those components. So
yeah, okay. All right, so asking just down at the bar the following morning, just to see if there's anyone about. You reckon herbs and incense could be gotten from the apothecarian?
Okay.
Who's in town? Her name is Marie Fairweather.
Okay.
And the brazier could be gotten from the town blacksmith. His name is Cryos Beaumont.
Is that something I'm going to need to purchase, or I just need a one-time use of?
You need to purchase both of them. The incense is one-time use. The brazier is multiple use. Okay.
I would like to just ask Sinta. I know Sinta has a familiar. Do you have a brazier that you've used to summon your familiar?
I'm trying to think of how to RP this. Okay. I again do not look at you directly.
Okay.
And I say,
again
this
was the urge to slap you.
This was before my time here, and I first summoned Hoot a long time ago. So, no, I do not have a brazier right now.
Well, I would like to present an opportunity for you to invest in one. I know that we might both... I know that familiars are both very useful, are not always the most durable of creatures, and it's clear that you take good care of yours. But it might come a time when you need to resummon that again. And although I have the cash to procure the herbs I need for summoning this thing, I probably can't also be splashing on fancy braziers alone. So I don't know if you'd like to go maybe half and half or something similar and invest in one for future reference.
I did spend 4 gold pieces last night.
That was very unwise of you. I'm not sure why you did that. I tried very hard to prevent that.
I'm sure you tried, as all nobles do, and all royalty do. But no, I do not have much cash on me now. But in any case, I have a character question. Sorry. Do we still need the brazier if we have like an arcane focus?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, all material components is something you need, despite having an arcane focus.
I thought it's only things that we need to spend money on that we would have to have.
You would still need to spend money on a brass brazier.
I thought the arcane focus replaced things like that. So when it says you need a small piece of cured leather, for example, you don't actually need a small piece of cured leather when you have an arcane focus. The only time that you needed to have something in addition to that is when it says like you need to spend 50 gold in rubies or something like that. Am I misunderstanding that?
Let me check.
I thought that's what a spell patch did. Is that if you had a spell patch, then anything without a gold cost component was covered by that.
That's what
you should totally just see about renting one.
That's mostly for like very small things like pieces of leather, but like a brass brazier would actually be a thing you would need. Like it's not just like a scrap that would go into part of the spell. Like it would actually be something that the herbs would have to go into. It's not just like a amorphous thing that could be formed from it. If you get my meaning.
But the rest of the component cost stuff for the smaller spells, for example, like a scrap of leather or like a drop of water, that is covered by the focus.
Yeah, that would be like components pouch would cover something like that, or a spell focus.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll head down to the blacksmith first, Solitaire, and what time does he open?
Okay, he would be open about this time. So the blacksmith is the easternmost building in this hamlet, and you see outside there is a female dwarf on the outside with a broad chest, and as you like approach closer, you can see she's got burnt cheeks and braided black hair going backwards.
All right.
And sorry, I was actually mistaken. The blacksmith is not Cryos Beaumont. The blacksmith is Marlene Coldstout is her name. Marlene
Coldstout. All right. Well, greet her and wish her good morning, and ask if she has. I'm looking for a brass brazier. Do you have one available?
Says, "I will if you're looking for something brass, come on in." Yeah. So you go into the shop, and it's kind of like divided in two, and so 50% on the right and 50% on the left, and the contrast between the two of them is actually quite stark. The left-hand half is very well. It's very neat, very well maintained. It looks very clean, and you see like a tall elf there who's whittling a particular piece of lumber. But on the right-hand side of the shop, this is clearly the blacksmith portion. It's pretty messy, and there's a lot of soot all about the place, just tools lying wherever, and this is where Marlene takes you. And she takes you over to like a couple of like brass wares, and you find something that would suffice, something that would be pretty good. And says to you, if you're looking for this one, a gold piece should do it.
Gold piece would do it. Can I just get a sense of if that is the value? Do I know the value of this?
Sure, roll me an insight check.
All right, insight. Let's take a quick look. Tests off of which one? Right there. Okay. Ah, awesome. Good roll to start off the day. Pretty typical roll for me, I might say.
It seems pretty on the level. She doesn't seem to be taking advantage of it.
I say, well, you have a very trusting face, and I am had enough. I've run into some trouble in this town already. I'll just hand her the gold piece and thank her and be on my way.
Okay. So you obtain a brass brazier.
Excellent. And then I would like to head to the herbalist or alchemist, whatever you called it.
Apothecary.
Yeah, that's the one. And I'll go there.
Okay. So this is the building which is next to the tavern-ish. On the other side of the tavern, essentially.
Okay. Is that open as
Filthy.
well?
Loud typing.
Sorry.
It appears to be. The actual entranceway isn't a door as such. It's a series of the beads which are falling from the door frame to form the door. So you push them out of the way and you step inside, and this quite very strong sense hits your sense of smell. It's a really weird mix of like really good smells and really foul smells at the same time, and they seem to change as you move about the room. And you see an old, a human female, and she has a wrinkled skin, thin hair, and glassed over eyes. And she's wearing a bonnet of sorts that's kind of like a little bit poofy, kind of reminiscent of a tea cozy. And she says to you, "Yes, welcome, son. What can I do for you?"
Well, I have a list of herbs that I'd like to purchase from you. I don't know if you have all of them, but if you do, that would be excellent. And I tell her the herbs that I need for this spell.
Okay, cool. She says, "Well, yes, just wait one moment, please." And she goes behind the counter and brings out a set of scales and like shuffles some herbs and things about and crushes them down in a mortar and pestle.
Before she even starts that, I stop her just real quick and I say, before you do anything permanent to these herbs, I just want to make sure I can afford your prices. Can you just give me an estimate of how much this will be?
Yes, well, these should be about 10 gold pieces.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I let her go.
Shall
about
I
her task.
continue?
Yes, go ahead.
Very well. And so she continues, like, just pounding some of these herbs into the pestle, into the mortar. And then produces them all together in a pouch for you to take. So that's one use of components for Find Familiar.
Okay, great. And then I'll head back to the tavern that we're staying at. How much time do we have before we're... So what time of the day is it now? We got up pretty early. I wanted to get up as soon as these shops open to do this.
Okay. Well, if you're getting up, they would open about 8 o'clock. So it's still about that time.
Okay. Then I'll join the group and say, I could really use an hour, but if we don't have the time, I could always do this at a later date, perhaps when I camp tonight or something. Just let me know. What you guys are thinking in terms of getting going?
That should be fine. It'll take about that time to get everything ready to leave.
All right. Then I will set up the brazier and set the herbs, light the herbs, and I will summon my familiar.
All right.
And
so
the rest of us are just getting ready to leave, of course. Getting all the stuff ready and everything.
Yeah, and the horse is prepped and etc.
Olokian, where do you do this?
Well, that's a good question. How big is this this thing I've purchased?
It's not that big. It's about palm size.
Okay, so the amount of herbs I'm burning, like incense kind of style, like size, or like a larger flame?
It's not going to like be much larger than the brazier itself. Mostly it's smoke that comes from it.
All right.
Rather than flames.
Unless there's some reason not to. I mean, we still have our rooms, right? I think probably better to do this in the room than out and about. So I'll do that there. I'll make sure I open the window, close the door, take some of the sheeting, and just try to push it under the crack of the door to stop that airflow going that way. Kind of like I'm clam baking the room, but for my my summon instead. And then I will perform the ritual there.
Okay, cool. So you do so, and after some time, your Raven?
Yes.
Raven does indeed appear by your shoulder and kind of like looks left and right and squawks a little bit and looks to you and then just kind of darts about the room a little bit.
Excellent. I'm quite pleased to have Kanji with me. So. All right. Well, I will. I'll pop the window out, and I can communicate with the Raven telepathically, right? So I'll tell the Raven, let's avoid trouble.
Up to 100 feet, yes.
Let's avoid trouble. You go out the window. I'll meet you downstairs, and then I'll go downstairs.
And it flies out the window.
Perfect. I'll fan the room out a little bit. Try to pretend I wasn't burning incense in here for any length of time, and I'll wander downstairs with a slightly stoned expression on my face.
All right. Cool. Right. Eyes glazed over. Anyone else wanted to do anything specific in time?
Not me.
All right. Okay. So you guys have been arranging the horses, just getting something to eat before you head on out. Does anything happen? No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. And you guys head on out within about an hour, so about 9 o'clock is the time you head out. Okay.
Cool.
All right. As you're heading out of town, you see the Watcher who confronted you the night previously in the tavern.
So, sorry, the guardsman or the two collecting people?
The guardsman.
Okay.
And he just kind of looks to you all with this sort of steeled expression, and gives you all a nod as you walk past.
We'll see you later. Don't be in a hurry to go move underneath a volcano again.
He doesn't respond.
I just give him a cheery wave.
Yeah, I just nodded them all too.
I shake my head as I walk.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys are heading out. Though this morning, it's an overcast day. It's not as clear as it was the day previously. It's not that warm. The wind's a bit stronger, particularly because you guys are out of the forested area now as well. But you've seen many days like this before in Brill. It's very typical of sort of Brillian region weather. So you guys head on out, and it takes you about an hour before once again approaching the Crossroads. So where are you going? So Crossroads left, right, and straight.
Left, which would be south, towards our destination.
It would be southeast. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys take that turn to the southeast and walk some distance, and you can see two sets of mountains. One set on sort of ahead of you and to the left, and ahead of you and to the right. They seem to these two mountain ranges are very far apart, but you can just see them on the horizon. As you head further south, it takes you about an hour before you leave Fort Myer entirely. Getting into Sternwind. This takes a sec to populate. Okay, cool.
So just while we're walking, Sully, I'll let my familiar, who's now on the corporal plane, I'll let him just kind of feel out his body, stretch out his wings, and just kind of let him kind of keep pace with us overhead and keep his eyes out for anything interesting.
Okay, cool. So he flies on ahead. You can only communicate with... Both of you can only communicate with familiars up to 100 feet, by the way. So that would be the range limit.
Okay, well, I'll give him just rough standing order of, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary, and if you see something, return and tell me.
Okay. Bring me a perception check on his behalf, then.
Okay, I haven't done that before, so I did see that you'd given me in my spell list him, so I guess I have a perception check for him somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You just click where it says perception. It looks a little bit different because it's an NPC card.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Alrighty. So you guys spend a good couple of hours just walking down this road. And you can see the River Vorma, which comes fairly close to the road at some points, but then diverges away again, back towards the mountains. To the on the left of the road, it's kind of like a shallow valley, so you can see clearly the fields and the river between you and the mountain range, which is there. On the right of you is a more highland area. You can't really see much past it. In fact, you can't see the mountains on the other side of it either. But you guys continue walking on your raven flying high overhead. Yeah. All right. So
we regained all of our health and resources through that long rest.
You're all at maximum resources. Yes.
Excellent.
Okay. You're all walking for a good number of hours, past mid-afternoon to that. Okay. Yeah, you reckon this time is about it's about 5 p.m. or so. Not much of the scenery has changed. The Raven hasn't reported anything back, not anything unusual or anything like that. Do you guys just want to continue on?
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, it's about getting close to dusk, right?
No, this is about 5 p.m. So you've still got a good
I think we can still continue.
4 hours of light or so.
Oh, 4 hours.
For a
Okay.
little while.
Yeah, all right.
Like 3 or 4 hours.
I'll just keep my eyes open as it starts getting later in the day, just for somewhere again to stop. But
Okay.
I'll keep going. Sure.
All right.
I will have I'll have Hoot look out for a place where we can camp, like some a safe place.
Okay. For the most part, the terrain hasn't really changed. You've got these sort of foothills and highland areas on your right, and the lowland area, which is like very good farming land, but no one seems to be farming here. On the left, there's not much tree cover, so depending on what you're looking for, I mean, it's your choice. It's not like who's going to say this is an excellent place to camp. Like,
Are there a lot of people using the road that we're traveling on as well? Do you see a lot of passerbys?
No, actually, there's not a lot of travel on the road. In fact, very few passerbys at all, if any, at this point. You met one. You did meet one on previously within an hour of the Crossroads, but since you have sort of ventured into this more open region, you haven't really met anyone on the road.
Okay. I guess I'll be looking for somewhere with some form of cover, high ground. Yeah, relatively high ground.
Okay, cool. So around like 7 or 8 p.m., you find a place that kind of would fit that description. It's kind of like an overhanging cliff over the road.
I turn to William and I say, "Do you think it's time for us to camp for the night?"
It might be better, at least for me, because I'm not able to see as good as you guys at night, so if it's okay with you.
It's almost nighttime at this point.
7. Yeah.
You've got 1 or 2 hours of light left.
Okay, and because previously we kind of guesstimated that the total distance that we still had left to travel was a little bit less than 2 days, then it's more than or less than a day before. If we were to leave from where we are now, it would only take 1 day to get to our destination, right?
Yeah, moving at roughly the same pace you've been doing, it would take you about a day to get there.
Okay, no reason not to stop then.
Okay. You guys seem to be on course. As best you can tell, I mean, none of your cartographers or anything like that, but I mean, you've been traveling the same pace you were, same amount of time, so yeah, seems reasonable. Okay, so you guys camp on down for the night. There. Let me see. Yeah, so it was William doing the first watch, then Sinta, then Olokian, then Aust, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So William, you can take the first watch. In fact, at the start of your watch, please roll me a perception check.
Perception. Give me a second. Awesome.
All right, cool.
It's very dark. It's hard to see.
Your watch is not actually that dark. The reason it was given for you, but for the most part, you don't really see anything.
No, I just meant in general, his cataracts are clearly acting up on him with a roll like that. So.
Your compatriots are getting settled in for the night, and you're just on watch, but nothing so much attracts your attention. Maybe you're missing something, maybe you're not, but yeah, he can't see anything. All right. Okay. So after those 2 hours, it would be a switch.
I spend some time as we're settling down, poking fun at Aust for his desire to lead a life of adventure and dragging us away from our home area. That this has been a couple of days of trudging across godforsaken, rural bumfuck nowhere with a cart in tow. And I'm just kind of poking him about that.
Well, hopefully, at least things will get interesting eventually.
Yes, maybe the wagon will break down, or the horses will go lame or something. I can only imagine how exciting this is going to be.
We'll find more random children in cages. Why not?
We should just leave them next time, quite honestly. I think it'd be much more exciting. We could have followed them and seen what they're going to do. Maybe that would have been interesting. Anyways, we'll leave it at that for our nightly interaction.
Sinta, perception check.
I will have Hoot out with me as well. Do I roll a perception check with him as well? Okay. Perception. Yes. Oh my.
What is with your rolling, Galg? How does it do that? Like, why does it delay?
I'm actually trying to roll the dice. So.
Galg, you're aware it makes no difference whatsoever.
Oh. But in any case, I rolled a 1 and 3, so...
Alright. Okay. Yeah, so your aversion to actually look at anything directly means that you don't really see very much. And that which you might see, you don't want to see, so... No, you're looking out and looking out for the well-being. You're well aware of the advantages of being alive. So, you spend your watch and, it goes relatively uneventfully. Then switch
just
to
Olokian. Just for RPing purposes, I'll be trying to read my spellbook, trying to understand the spells that were already written down.
It's a great base key watch. Good stuff. All right, good.
Yes.
I
do have looked out, so... Yeah.
So not advantage next time because your owl is the only one actually on watch.
Maybe he could give the owl advantage instead.
The owl has +3 to perception, so...
Olokian.
Yes. How do I roll with the advantage?
When you click it, it should give you a drop-down menu.
Oh, and it says normal. I got it. Okay. So, perception it is, and with advantage. Neat. Great.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so your watch is in the dead of night. Kanji goes off and does his thing. Or would you rather him stay with you at this point?
He can just perch. I'd like him to be perched in communication range of me, but other than that, I don't really care.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he just goes off and tries to act like a raven as ravens do. But yeah, again, nothing so much happens on your watch.
Okay.
Then finally, switch to Aust. Aust, can I get a perception check? All right. Okay. So you're pretty groggy as you wake up, but it doesn't take you long before you're feeling okay. And then you're at your senses and like you're aware of what's going around, and you're pretty confident that nothing much is happening. You hear the howl of a wolf from far off, but pretty far off. Not something to be worrying about from your opinion.
Cool.
Alrighty, and everybody wakes up. And that's the end of the long rest. It'd take you about an hour or so to pack up camp.
Sounds good. Get back on the road as soon as we can. At this point, I'm beginning to feel like I'd like to be done. So I'm kind of urging a little bit of haste in the morning. So let's get this over with, just this last day, and we'll be done.
So everyone mark off one ration for the day. Alrighty, and you guys do indeed set off, and it doesn't take long before the highlands give way to forest, and the road itself takes a veer to the right, a very long veer, but a veer to the right. and the valleyed area. The river goes the way of the mountains, and the fields also give way to forests. And it doesn't take long traveling on the road before realizing that before becoming immersed in the forest itself. All right, so you guys are walking through, yeah, and okay. A couple of hours after you've entered the forest, Kanji returns to you and perches on your shoulder, and you get the message. Trouble ahead.
Can you be more specific, Kanji? What did you see?
There are 2 dead horses on the road.
Anything around them? Any humanoids?
Not that I saw.
Could you tell what killed them?
I do not know.
How long have they been dead for, do you know?
This is how you know he's a raven. He doesn't know that shit.
Right.
He's got an intelligence of 5.
All right, we'll have to figure out what we can ask and can't ask of a familiar.
He reported that he has seen 2 dead horses. That's about the extent.
Good work,
of
Kanji. And I say,
and all of this is just telepathic communication between
Yes.
Filthy and his. Okay.
I poke
So
you,
none of us know.
Aust, and I say, maybe some trouble up ahead, some dead horses. Do you want to go check it out?
Well, if it's in our path, we don't have that much of a choice.
Yeah, but I mean, we could just wander up and ignore it, or we could go have a look first. Might be something a little bit more exciting than this tedium we've had today. Should we go sneak up on some dead horses? See if we're still elves?
And just a second. At this point, we are in the forest, right?
Yep.
The forest path. There's no more openness. There's trees all around us, right?
Yep.
Okay. We might as well, I suppose.
Right.
There's some chance that it could be some kind of trap. So,
Well, horses generally aren't out and about on their own. I mean, unless I don't know many herds of horses that graze in the middle of the forest. So it seems a little unlikely that they're just coincidentally horses here. So at this point, I'll poke William and Sinta and say, probably nothing, but there's a couple dead horses up ahead. No humanoids in the vicinity that we've seen yet, but we could go at least have a look and see if we could get some idea, if anything, how they died.
Are the dead horses on our path? Or
Yeah. They're on the way through where we need to go. Were they dragged off the road or just in the center of the road, Sully?
In the road.
In the road. Do they block it? Is it a wide enough path that
You can get past them.
Okay.
Well, we will cross them, so it's we can try to investigate a little bit anyway when we are passing through it. Then
Anyone have any experience? Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I'll have Hoot look in the forested area to the left of the path that we're going to see if Hoot spots any unusual creatures.
Any of you have a tracking or hunting background that you might be able to tell what's done this or seen anything around it? No, me neither.
nope.
Had a lot of training growing up, but none of that training involved hunting.
Would I?
Regarding Romeo, perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Perception with disadvantage.
It's heavily wooded, so.
Damned. Okay.
Okay. Unusual creatures to Hoot is a little bit of a vague description, but nothing unusual that he reports. In fact, he doesn't report anything. He just continues searching.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense that we split up, but maybe something along the lines of one elf in either side of the forest, and slightly ahead of the main caravan.
Perhaps slightly behind.
Well, I mean, if you guys think that this
The
is a
elves in
trap,
front.
what I can do is I can create a spectral hand and try touching the horses from afar to see if it triggers.
Sinta, I'm not suggesting this is a trap. It's a little unusual. I think we should be cautious. Is all. We're here. We've been hired as guards, and we have a duty to this. I don't think it's necessarily anything, but I don't think it's necessary to poke the dead horse particularly. If you want, I mean, I'm certainly willing to watch as you do that, but I'd be happy just to approach it too.
Well, it's not going to be a trap, as in like you touch the horse and it explodes or anything. It's not going to be anything silly like that. But whatever killed the horses and left them there has a very high likelihood of still being around here. So, and they could be like that could be the type of thing where some creatures would set up some type of ambush, and while someone that was trying to pass tried to either like go around the horses or like move them out of the way or something, that's when the ambush would trigger. So that's why I was kind of thinking that when we stay together, because combat probably would be very likely, but Jesus. Maybe, like I said, have us off to the side somewhere.
All of you are so paranoid.
They don't know about us.
Why would
you
want
to just kick in the door? You want to just kick in the door?
Which door?
Something killed the horses. Something killed the horses and left it there. It wouldn't be civilized people to just do that. It's some kind of creature around.
It's very boring, Aust. I could see how your mind would be wanting you to think the most diabolical things coming out of this.
Yes,
the big bad woods boogeymen are setting up dead horses for us. Sure, all right. I'll follow your lead on this. If you want us to go first or want us to go second, whatever you'd like. If you want to poke it with a dead mage hand, whatever you want. So.
I'm not. I don't know about the hand poking, but maybe
I walk into the forest to the side and I come back with a big kind of like crooked like stick, like clearly like a branch that has fallen off a tree at some point and like is just rotting. And I hand it to Sinta and I say, "Have your mage hand use this in case it's trapped." And I hand him the stick.
William.
So I wanted to say that like there isn't a reason to think about it more. It's like better when we get more information when we get there. It's like, and then we can decide what to do.
All right.
How about we get close enough that our familiars can investigate it a little bit? How about that?
Let's okay.
Oh. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean they're only just. I mean they're not further than sight range. We can only communicate with them 120 foot or something like that. They're not much further than sight range. I mean it depends. How is this around a bend somewhere solid that there's no sight coming into it, or is this just further up the road in kind of a clear portion of the road?
This wasn't actually within 100 feet. He had to fly back to you in order to communicate with you.
Yeah, no, I understand. But when we come up upon this, are we going to see it? Is it going to be visible on the road, like 100 feet away, style thing?
Could be. You need to investigate a little bit further. Okay. What is reported by who is that on both sides of the road, there are a number of cliffs which encroach towards the road, and the road itself is very much in a cutting between these two cliff edges, which both overhang over the road.
All right. As we're discussing this, I send off Kanji to go have a look as well. I'm curious now, and I just want to. So I've forgotten now. Am I able to see through my familiar's eyes or no?
Up to 120 feet.
Okay.
But during that time, you are vulnerable. You cannot control your senses or body.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So I just have it go as well. So we're gonna head up that way then, group party, buddies.
At least close enough that you guys can look a little bit closer with your familiars.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Then I would like to. I'm gonna step off the road, and I assume there's some tree cover on either side of the road that we're going through a forest. Yeah. All right, then I'm
not on the sides of the road, no, because it's cliffs that encroach. The forest actually is on top of the cliffs. It's sort of been elevated by this cutting that you're in just now.
Okay, then I'm going to instruct Kanji to. Sinta, have you told us anything about your familiar? I see that you I saw you get your little glazed expression you have when you're communicating with your familiar. Where have you sent him off to?
I sent him off to. Where Kanji said that he saw dead horses, and he described the terrain It's kind of cliffed. So
I'll have
it's possible.
Go on.
It's possible that there are creatures on either side of the cliff.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty spot if someone were to attack it. I mean, I don't know how high these cliffs are, but assuming it's bow shot range, which it probably is, shooting down, having people either side of the road would be pretty unpleasant. I'd at least like to have a look at the top of these cliffs and see if there's any humanoids up there. So I'll send Kanji up to do that. I know I'll lose communication with him for a little bit as happening, but I'll have him go and return, and I'll have him. If Sinta hasn't had Hoot check the one side, I'll have him check. If he hasn't had him do that, I'll have him check both sides. If he has, I'll just have him check the other side.
I have him check the left side.
Okay, then I'll have him check the right side.
So.
Okay, roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay, from the bird, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
We still haven't moved forward, right?
Ouch.
That's a 1. The red means a 1, right? Critical fail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we don't do critical fails, but yes, it is a 1.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, I assume he comes back to me and reports nothing.
Very little.
All right. Well, he hasn't seen anything, so I mean, as far as I could tell, it seems pretty clear. We could at least approach it, I suppose. Then, do you?
Okay. So there's basically a cliff on either side of us.
Yep.
And it just maintains that all the way to the stop, right? How far up is the cliff on either side? Where we are at now, and where the horses are at?
15 feet or so.
15 feet or so. Okay. I don't see any reason whatsoever why the elves shouldn't climb up either side and just travel.
The cliffs are only 15 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So it's like an embankment more than it is a. I was picturing like 150 foot like. Anyways,
no,
got it. Okay.
It's a forest. It's a forest. Yeah.
So I had this image of like the raven soaring so high above the air, looking at it. He's about like 16 foot off the ground or something. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that high.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you guys want to try scaling the cliff?
Yep.
Do you have any climbing equipment?
I have ropes.
Not really going to help with climbing as such.
Let me check just this.
15 foot
I'm
is
pretty sure I don't, but
scramble.
it would be in your pack, whichever pack you.
No,
have.
There's actually a climber's equipment. There's climbing equipment.
Mm-hmm. I have a crowbar.
Probably not going to be helpful here.
It's good, man. Try and open that.
A hammer, 10 pitons. So what the heck is a piton?
Piton. It's when you're abseiling, you can latch it into a cliff face and put some.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
That's what I thought it is. It's like a safety catch thing, yeah, with your rock climbing.
This is 15 foot. You don't use protection on a 15 foot climb.
I know, but it's still, I have it in my bag, and I
assist.
don't know what it is, so. Okay, so yeah, I guess we just keep on trying over and over and over again, failing checks until eventually we don't fail.
We're not standing at the bottom of the cliff just like pushing ourselves up. Surely this must come out a rise. We're not walking through cliffs now, so if further up the road there's a cliff, it's going to have to have been a gradual rise in terrain to get to that cliff, right?
From
I understood
the forest.
past that a long time ago,
It's
though.
not that it rises up. It comes from the forest. Like, the cliffs actually come from the forest. The cliff face.
But we passed the spot where we could just walk up the side, as I understand it.
But that would be somewhere in the forest. Like, you would need to actually travel further into the forest in order to
Yeah, we'd have to
find-
travel off the road to come to the kind of the sloping part to get onto the back of the cliff, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you have no idea of how far away that is.
Well, we have birds.
So let's just climb,
We
because
could-
it's 15 feet.
Okay. We don't even have to climb. I mean, you could stand on me and you'd be at the top of that.
Oh, that's true. That's
I mean,
a good
it's
point.
15 foot.
You
It's
could just
really short.
say, hey, William, come on over here. We're going to stand on your shoulders. And there you go. That's a good point, yeah.
All right. Do you wish to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Why
Let's,
not?
I mean,
William's
maybe,
okay with it.
William, you much of a climber? I mean, you're wearing heavy plate, I assume. Or actually, you're not probably wearing. You're wearing chain, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have channel, but it's still a bit, I think, a little harder for me to climb.
Well, you don't have to climb. You just got to, push us up. Like, he's going to go up one side, and I'm going to go up the other side.
I'm
Just
going to
so that
say,
if
I
there's
know
any-
we're still very
I
new on
can
our beginning
help
of
you
adventures,
push up.
Okay, cool.
but we are let's hope we never face time crunches in our adventures. Because we're exploring the options here a lot. I like it. All right.
No, that's right. We're not walking into an ambush, so it's
Yes,
good.
we are.
Well, yeah, but slightly better prepared. Okay, so
All
what do we have
right.
to do?
I've got a question. And so,
Climb.
like, can I see any of the trees higher than that cliff?
No.
There's no trees higher than 15 foot in a forest.
No.
Well, the
Well,
forest
it
is
would be
not.
in the
on
further
our
in the
level.
forest, but the forest, the trees here,
All right.
not so
never mind.
much.
Okay. Well,
Just
And none that would be conveniently tall enough and close enough that you could just like hop onto it after climbing the tree.
oh, I wasn't thinking that. I just wanted to actually see if something overlooked it so I could get a better look. But that's fine.
yeah.
Or like
or-
climb the tree and look out.
Yeah.
I,
It's okay. 15
none
foot
that
is
would be
not...
close enough to the road.
I just want to ask Aust, how heavy are you?
Wait, who are you asking? You asking me?
Aust.
Oh, sorry.
Well, he
Uh,
wants me to push him up, so I'm just asking how heavy he is.
Medium.
He's a skinny
Okay.
little fucking elf.
Yeah, exactly.
You're...
I think the
Should say
question should be,
featherweight.
how much do you have for breakfast?
So can I use like acrobatics for this, or do I? Is it athletics?
The question is
It'll be
which
in
one of
athletics.
us will roll if I'm helping him.
For the climber, it is athletics with advantage.
So okay, can I roll that then?
Are you climbing up the eastern cliff or the western cliff?
Probably Western.
Okay.
That's wise.
Okay, so roll me the athletics check with advantage.
So I just want to be clear. I don't understand we can get to the top of this. Oh, you just rolled it though. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's so that when we get there, if there are creatures on either side, then like
So you're popping
We're
up the
there.
cliff now.
yeah.
Oh,
mhm.
I see. Okay. You're not walking to the horse then trying to climb the cliff.
Right. That's the whole idea is that
Got it,
if
got
there's
it,
stuff
got it.
up there, we don't have to climb in the middle of combat. We can
Yes,
get
that
up
sounds
there now.
much better than I was thinking you were doing.
Right.
Okay.
You tried, but you can't get a good grip on the shell. That's just
Can
kind of
I-
like crumbling away as you're grabbing it.
Can I try again?
Sure.
Same thing
No, this would just be a straight acrobatics check.
without advantage.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, acrobatics? I thought this is acrobatics for climbing. Okay.
No, it's athletics. Sorry, it's not acrobatics.
Oh darn! That was
athletics.
acrobatics. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was
It's
with
okay.
the. That's fine.
I've got the change anyways.
Okay, so just normal athletics.
Just straight athletics. Okay. With that one, you're able to get up the first 10 feet, so roll me again to see if you can complete the climb, because climbing goes in 10 feet incursions.
All right. I'm gonna bust my ass. Oh my gosh, nice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you managed to get up to the other side of the cliff. And you were on the western side, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright. What's next?
And now, Oaklane, are you going to go up the other side?
No, I'm going to toss my rope up to you and ask you to tie it off on a tree so we have a little bit of aid with this and we don't have to do just, the rest of it. Make this a little bit easier for the rest of us to go up. And can you tie it just off to something for us?
Sure, but I thought the idea was that one of us are on each side. And
You guys
the,
are currently
other
shouting
guy
up
on
and
the
down
center.
cliffs, by the way.
You're what, sorry?
You guys are currently shouting up and down cliffs.
15 foot. I mean, that's 15 foot. I could just talk quietly at the bottom. This is not a large distance. You're 6 foot, Solitaire. Like,
I know.
this is 2 of you in length, basically.
I know.
All right.
I
All right.
know.
We're all on the same page with this measurement. I'm not like switch to metric or something. All right.
No?
Oh, yeah. You want me to go up the other side? Sure. Sure. All right. I thought. Okay. Sure. We'll do
No? I mean,
Olokian, do you
Well,
also
okay.
need help?
that. Yeah, I'd like if you wouldn't mind, that'd be nice to have you just give me a hand up.
Okay, no problem.
Can I, Solitaire, rather than climb directly from the bottom, can I first balance on William's shoulder and then just climb the last portion? Since it's only 15 foot, and that probably gives me 6 or 7 of those feet. 5 or 6
Yeah,
of those feet.
so roll athletics with advantage.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was doing also.
So athletics or acrobatics? I'm just trying to balance on
Athletics.
Oh, advantage. Sorry, let me roll one more. Okay. How's that? It's pretty good.
Huh.
Nominally not good.
Okay. You're similar sort of situation. You're not able to get a good grip on something which would allow you to vault over onto the surface of the cliff. You can try one more, which is a straight roll, if you like.
Okay. So did you just roll that against strength, you said?
It would be an athletics check.
Oh, I see.
Just a straight athletics check.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So you managed to get up to the other end of the cliff.
All right. What do I see when I get to the top of it?
You see trees continuing. You see lots of rocks, boulders, and things of the like.
Okay. Can I find something to attach a rope to that I can leave hang over the cliff in case I want one of my companions to join me?
Sure. If you like.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. So I'll knot the rope so it has knots every couple feet on it, so it makes for really easy climbing. And then I'll loop it around the tree basically and just lower that over, so that should be nice and easy to get up.
What's your survival modifier?
My survival modifier. You want me to roll for that? Or are you just asking what it is, or what are you asking? I'm not sure.
I'm asking what it is.
I have a -1 survival modifier.
Okay, good to know. All right.
Are you leaving your rope there?
Well, I'm gonna go check it out and come back, I assume, right? I mean, we have
I
to
thought
bring
we
the
were
cart.
just going to travel like this. Just
Like,
as
that
we
we
are,
will travel,
everything.
like-
Just travel like that. As we are just now.
So
like,
I'm just not entirely.
Both of you on the side, like traveling with us, and me
Okay.
and Gal.
Then
like,
I'll start looping the knots. I'll keep the rope on me for now, but I'll have the knots set up so I can come back and put this on the tree rather rapidly if I need to. And then I'm going to try to approach. I guess I'm gonna try to keep roughly in sync with William and Sinta as they're moving on the road, and I'm gonna try to keep roughly in sync on the ledge line, the ridge line.
Oh, I see what you were thinking of, just both of us going up one side and then scouting it out from that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
the scout,
I didn't
like,
understand that.
like,
Because I mean, what happens right now? I mean, we can't have this conversation because we're on opposite sides of this, and we're not yelling across the road. But what happens right now if we find guys on one side? Like the two people on the bottom can't help, and the guy on the other side can't help.
well, you will have to just jump down, I guess.
Yeah, worst case, we just have to
I've got a
jump down.
rope. You guys are just shit out of luck. No. No, I'm totally happy. If our plan, it seems like our plan was to keep pace with that. That leaves you guys going, and I'll keep pace on my side. That's fine.
At least I also thought that was the plan. So, like, too late to make something else, so we should stick to it, I think.
I mean, if we think that just scouting ahead on one side...
My personal assumption is the longer we take on this, the more likely it is a Solitaire just says these are two dead horses, and we wasted half a day sneaking up on them. So...
No, that's metagaming. That's not a factor.
All right. Well, my suspicion is this: if there's something worried about this, what's going to happen is we're going to walk into it, and they're going to have high ground advantage on either side. We're not going to be able to reach them because it's going to be a pain in the ass to climb this up. So my suggestion is actually we scout ahead and get some sight of what's there. If it's on one side, we can lower a rope, have everyone climb up on that side, and approach them on the same level of them at the very least, and come back to the wagon. If there's nothing there, we can move on.
Okay, so how about just we scout each scout the side that we're on.
Okay, let's do that then. All right, you want to go first on your stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
I figured we would at the same time, but it doesn't matter.
Before we do this, it's a good time for a break.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next part.